Hello and welcome to October's Tea Klatsch. Tea Klatsch, I took this idea from Anne Novella, her Coffee Klatsch. Coffee Klatsch is where you have coffee, you invite your friends around for coffee and a chit chat. I'm English, so I've got tea. Cheers. My name is Jim, this is my channel, books, reading and stuff. Another idea I took from a fellow booktuber was the Criminoli's idea of taking a random book from the shelves and talking about it. I've done that 6 times now. I started with Virginia Andrews, famous as V.C. Andrews for Flowers in the Attic. I found Dawn here. Then I picked Dara O'Brien's Tickling the English, a very funny book. My views peaked when I took Harry Potter, a book I haven't read, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And then they started coming down again, unfortunately, with The Forest of Memories by Nato, Kipiani. If anybody has read this, please let me know. I don't know anybody else in the world who has read this book. And then there was Georgian's most famous son, Stalin. This is Martin Amis's biography of him, Koba the Dread, which wasn't very favourable to Stalin at all. And finally I chose a French book, but that the views went right down for that. Guy de Maupassant, comme, mort. Maupassant is like a French Edgar Allan Poe. I've been watching a lot of booktube lately, not just to look for ideas I can steal. I see Shelley putting on her outfits. I love the videos, but I'm not going to steal that idea. You've been spared, really, believe me. And Sean the Book Maniac did a great interview with Brian of Bookish, talking about what it means to be bookish, both positive and the negative aspects. And I'll link to all these channels in the show notes below. I've just finished a very bookish book, The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield, about a reader, a biographer who interviews a famous reclusive author. Lots of wonderful quotes in the books about the joys of reading and about the machinations of reading, like this one. Do you know the feeling when you start reading a new book before the membrane of the last one has had time to close behind you? You leave the precious book with ideas and themes, characters even caught in the fibres of your clothes, and when you open the new book, they're still with you. The 13th Tale was the choice of the FOMO book club for September and October, and it was another great choice by the team of Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, Jack of Spread Book Joy, and Gemma of Gem of Books. This is the 4th book I've read from the FOMO book club, and they've all been great. The 13th Tale is the 78th book I finished this year. This equals the amount of books I read last year. I'm aiming to get to 100 books this year. Whether that will happen or not, I don't know. I'm currently 1 book behind, but 78 books. This is the most books I've ever read in a year, so that's good, I think. I know it's just a vanity metric. Currently reading 3 books, which is what I usually try and do. Sometimes it goes to 4 or 5, but one of the books I'm reading is this one, Martin Chuzzlewit, which I'm reading for October. As you can see, I'm about a quarter of the way through. It's over 200 pages, and I'm not going to finish it by the end of the month at this rate. I've been monitoring my reading, and at this rate, I'll finish it by the end of November. The other 2 books I'm currently reading, I can't hold up like this because I don't have physical copies. I do read a lot on Kindle. I appreciate the aesthetic is better when I can hold up a physical book, but as I said, most of the books I'm reading are ebooks. I'm reading Jade City by Fonda, which is a fantasy set in East Asia in a city like Hong Kong, which is really good. It's like a mafia type situation with the families and the feuding. And I'm reading A Bad Breed by Kat Ross. I finished Savage Skies at the beginning of the month. For the first book I read by Kat Ross. I like her writing. and The Bad Breed is set in Victorian times in the 1880s, and these investigators from England go to Romania, where there's been some werewolf sightings, and there's also one of their investigators has gone missing. This will fit in with Occult Detective October because they're looking into the supernatural. So that's my reading news at the moment in October. You can let me know what you're reading in the comments. You can also like this. This will help me with the YouTube algorithm. Cheers. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.